Hi, my name is Joe Watts. I'm the ship's chief engineer. I'm from South Boston, Massachusetts, one of 34 members of the Merchant Marine on board the USNS Comfort in the engine room. We're in the main machinery space, which is the steam power plant. And this portion of the ship drives the ship. We don't actually steer it, but we push the ship through the water, generate all the steam for the sterilizers, the hot water, the steam for cooking. And this is manned by 7 watchstanders. Well, the ship has been supporting the COVID mission up here in New York. The engine department, we do not have direct contact with the patients. We work in the non-COVID area of the ship, which is all of the engineering support, facility support. Some of the members of the engine department will transit in a support role for the hospital into the COVID patient areas, but they take the appropriate PPE and precautionary measures as instructed by the infectious disease team. So when we arrived here in New York, we were told that we were going to be dealing with non-COVID patients. Shortly after arrival, that changed and we had to adjust. The men and women of engineering were asked where we could establish the best boundaries, how we could reduce accidental contact. Working closely with leadership, specifically the deck department, we established boundaries, transferred them from the drawings onto the actual doorways, ladder wells, to minimize the accidental contact between patient caregivers working with COVID and patient support that have no direct contact with a patient, all of the facility support where my team fits in, so that we would know not to go beyond this point, or when we did, we had to take the appropriate precautions. To establish the boundaries we keep referring to, it was a team effort where first we had to outline the areas where the doctors and medical people absolutely had to be, and then that eliminated where the rest of us didn't have to be. And by establishing that and taking a boundary up an entire level, we reduced the accidental contact between the caregiver who may have contact with a COVID patient and the support team who really had no need to come in contact with the patients. And by forcing this distance and taking the guidance that everyone's been talking about and really washing our hands and wearing masks. Mine is in my pocket right now for the interview, but the deck department, led by a third officer, Mr. Nate Grant, he met with myself, the captain, the infectious disease team. He was given his instructions. He built the wall, literally. Got 2x6 lumber, a bunch of screws, erected a barrier, filmed the barrier on both inside and outside with 6 mil plastic, and put signs up. Moving to the next door, which is already in place, we just sealed over the door with 6 mil plastic on each side, and a sign says emergency use only, don't break the boundary. And people to this day have been doing very well in respecting the boundaries that have been established. And I really think that's a lot to do why our numbers within the crew have stayed very, very manageable, very small. We've been blessed with a great group of infectious disease control officers and advisors, and they did a fantastic job. They cut through the chase, they gave us clear information, helped us looking at the drawing, supported the decision, and then helped us with the enforcement, really the education. Everyone came up here with one expectation, and quickly that changed, and we had to manage the expectation as well as manage the accidental contact. It's been a privilege and an honor to work with this great group of people. Our families are at home. We didn't know what we had in front of us. You can't see it. And with a lot of good people, like I said, there's 34 men and women, and they got behind us. They listened, they learned, and we all adapted. We evolved faster than the virus. And now we get to go home.